Today on Hopped Up Beer Review, we're going to be trying Betty Lemon Meringue Pie Gose from Southern Prohibition out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer we are drinking. Be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell. And also check us out on social media. The links are below in the description. I've got Jay with me. Andy is once again in the attic, or does he leave? We don't know. I am Ben here in the recording studio that I call home. Appreciate you guys checking us out. What are we going to be drinking today?
Today, we are going to Southern Mississippi, and we are going to have Southern Prohibition, or SoPro's, Betty, a lemon meringue gose. I'm excited to try this.
Have we done a gose? Is this our first goses on the show?
Probably technically, I think it is. We've done several sours, which would be right on the edge.
Yeah. I was trying to think. I don't think we've done one because I was like, I was looking up the information, just to
it cracked open,
just to talk about the gose, and I was like, I don't recall writing this down before to talk about it.
And that's funny because, like, had you asked me when you first said that, I was like, yeah, of course we've done a gose, but I can't name the one that we've done. So yeah, this may be the first one.
So this type of beer, the Gose, originated in Goslar, Germany. It's a top fermented, usually like a sour type of beer. It's 50% malted wheat and coriander. Usually has lemon, herbs, and salt.
Very carbonated, this one.
Yep. Lots of bubbles.
Sure thing, Yoda.
Could hear them.
Yeah.
You liked the way I pieced those words together. It took me a second to figure out why you said that.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Definitely get all of that. The lemon, the salt, a little creamy texture to it with that meringue.
Yeah,
meringue. It's not a dance.
Yeah.
Meringue.
Yeah.
On the back end, that's the last that hits you, I guess.
Yeah. Because of the coriander and the salt, because this is a German beer. It's been around a while. Or German style beer. It's not from Germany. It's from southern, Hattiesburg, Mississippi. But
right smack dab in the middle of Germany.
Yeah. The Gose does not comply with the, do you recall the name of the purity law, Ben?
I don't, but I remember 1516.
Yeah.
That was the year, I think.
Yeah. The Reinheitsgebot.
There you go.
Yeah. But the Gose gets a special exemption due to being, or it gets an exemption due to being a specialty beer from a region of Germany. So a regional specialty. That's what they do.
Interesting. Yeah. So I just poured out the rest of mine though. And it's just, you probably can't pick this up on the camera, but man, just the carbonation in this one.
Yeah.
Just bubbles are flowing.
So you can kind of pick it up mine. But another thing it looks kind of hazy, cloudy. That's because of the yeast is suspended in it.
Yeah, I did see some chunks floating in mine here a minute ago.
Yeah, so you might want to give a bit of a swirl.
Yeah, it's empty, so that's not gonna do me any good at this point. Yeah, I think my first introduction to a Gose was only just a few years ago, and I had tried one from down in Florida, just Salt of the Gulf was the name of it, from 30A Brewing, I believe. And just that salt taste. Yeah, great. Yeah, great.
Yeah, 30A is their beer.
Yep. So just that salt taste hits you. And I'm mentioning that because this one with a Goza and other Gozas I've had, this one doesn't hit the salt's there, but it's not like the predominant, and which is what I would expect from something so kind of special with the lemons that it's made with. So, but yeah, I think it's really good. So I say all that to say, to circle back around, that usually when I think of a Goza, I'm thinking of salt is, I'm about to, turn up the salt shaker to some degree. But not so much with this one. So
I think the first one I had was Yazoo's. I can't remember the name. It's like Gerst or something like that. I haven't had many of them. Yeah.
Yeah, the Gerst is not their Goza.
That's not the Goza. They have a Goza, I think, that I've had, but yeah, I remember salty. I was like, it's like, whoa, okay, that's a salty beer.
Yep. So, yeah, this one's interesting. I think we've done another kind of interesting beer from Southern Prohibition with their throwing yams. That was, I typically refer to it as the black hole beer because it just was completely dark. And definitely interesting and fun. And we see a lot of that from Southern Prohibition. I think they have a lot of weird beers, if you will, that are just, they pull a lot of things together and
unusual.
They become fun. I mean, that's a better way to describe it.
Yeah.
Weird's not the best word.
They're absolutely delicious beers.
They're great beers. Yeah, great beers. I'm not saying they're just, they take something and they put a twist on it and they put it in a can. It's good.
They're very imaginative. We really need to get just one of their core beers in. We've been getting these limited releases, so they'll be on the lookout for that. Do you get SoPro up there, Jay?
I do. Yeah, I get it all over. I've had a lot of their different IPAs that they do. They do what Hex Clouds, Paradise Lost. Several really good IPAs, double IPAs, hazy IPAs. So me, that's what I pay more attention to. And I've seen a few of the other offerings that they have just at the various stores, the bottle shops that I go to.
Yeah, they've got their crowd control is
that's their standard. I think that's like one of their staples, isn't it? Their core beers.
Yeah. And a good breakfast
good IPA.
stout.
Then, the Devil's Harvest is one that I always love. That's more of it's like a session IPA. It's what they call their Devil's Harvest breakfast IPA. So it's easy drinking. I think it's maybe 4.5 or 5% for an IPA, and similar to some of the others that the larger breweries make, like all day IPA or something like that, where you can sip or drink on those rather than worrying about having a couple and having your face on the floor.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go around and give this one a rating, as that's what we're here for. So I've actually had this one before. So that means have either of you had this?
No.
All right. Great. That means I get to go last. So Andy, why don't you start us off?
I like it. It's in that kind of sour category, and it is highly carbonated.
It is, yes.
I don't mind the salt. Usually when I'm drinking a beer, I'm not ready for salt, but being a Gose, it's expecting a little salt, and it's not too salty. But dang, it's carbonated.
It is very carbonated, yes.
It's got a lot of flavor to it. I like that lemon. I like how it's got the haze and it's not thin taste. It's got that full feeling to it. It's just a wonderful beer. 8.0 for me.
All right, Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, Andy. I think it's easy drinking. I think we say this is at 5%, so it's one you could sit here and have several of them. Whether you wanted to have them poolside, lakeside, grilling a beer. I think it'd be a great post-exercise beer with the salt. to replenish that into your system. You know, we always talk about it from a runner standpoint, going on pub runs and things like that. This would be a great one right after the run before you moved into something a little heavier. So I agree. You hit the nail on the head. I was going 8.0.
All right. So yeah, this is one I've had before. I actually went and checked Untapped. I knew I'd had it. The can art is very distinctive, so I definitely remembered having it before. But I went and checked Untapped to see, you know, I wanted to kind of see what I'd given it, and I had it about a year ago. Gave it a really high score. I think that just tasting it again, if I compare what I gave it to Untapped a year ago, it's going to come down a little bit from that. I don't know if that's the difference in the years or just difference in the day and me drinking a beer. But I think this is a really good beer. I really enjoy it. I love a Gose. I love a sour. So this is right up my alley. It's going to be an 8.5 for me because you know, I think it's fun and it tastes great. Less filling.
Yeah, I do think we ought to comment. I mean, one of the things that's telling, a lot of the SoPro cans you find are black, and they put the labels on top of them. So Throwing Yams was like that when we had it from them. I know Paradise Lost and several of the others, they're all in the pure black cans. It includes the top portion. So it's kind of a distinctive mark that I think you can recognize that's a SoPro beer in a lot of cases.
All right, that will give us an 8.2 for Betty Lemon Meringue Pie Gose from Southern Prohibition out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Definitely a fun beer. Hey, if you get a chance to pick up any SoPro, definitely give them a shot. Like Andy said, they come up with some interesting beers, and they're oftentimes a lot of fun, and they're oftentimes really, really good. So definitely check them out. Let us know what you think if you have had some SoPro, and let us know maybe what your favorite SoPro beer is. So yeah, with that, for Andy in the attic and Jay, I am Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.